Hi everyone, welcome back to Stamp with Anna, and today I'm going to show you a card that I was asked by my daughter to make. First, let me start off by saying I have my new iPad, and this is my first video I'm making with the iPad instead of my GoPro, so I'm hoping that my setup works. If not, certainly let me know. I'm trying to figure out the lighting, but anyway. So my daughter came to me and said, Mom, I need a birthday card, Mom, I need a card to hold a gift certificate, and it has to have a milkshake on it. Okay. Well, I looked through all my stuff, and I didn't have anything milkshakey. So I went through the box of my retired stamps that I'm debating on keeping or selling, and I did find some retired product that I manipulated a bit to make this here. And as a matter of fact, almost everything that I'm using today is retired. But again, my colors and my design are just suggestions for you. You are obviously free to change it any way you'd like. So I'm going to put this card aside, and I'm going to show you what we used for product. The base of my card is thick whisper white, and it's 4 1/4 by 11. And what I've scored it at 2 and at 5 1/2. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold it over on that 5 1/2 score line, and then I'm gonna fold it in on that 2-inch line. And that's going to make my card base. And this will flip over, and that's where my gift certificate will go. And let me show you here. See this? This is where the gift certificate goes. All right, so that's the base. Thick whisper white, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 2 and at 5 1/2. And now I have my layering pieces. I have Melon Mambo. I have one piece that is 3 3/8 by 4 1/8, and two pieces that are 1 7/8 by 4 1/8. And then I have my designer series paper. This is one piece at 4 by 3 1/4, and two pieces 1 3/4 by 4. And that paper is from an old specialty pack called Springtime Foils. I bought this and I never used it, and it's just gorgeous. Look at all these gorgeous foiled papers. I don't know why I never used it. Absolutely stunning. But, so that's where that paper came from. So let me put that together for you first, and then we'll go into the other product. So what I'm doing is I'm going to put some snail on the small piece of designer series paper, and I'm going to mount that. I'm going to lay that right on this piece of Melon Mambo, small little border. And I'm going to do that with the second one as well. So far, so good. This is off just a tad. Try it this way. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing with my other piece there. And I see that I've cut my paper wrong. Mambo is 4 1/8 by 3 7/8. Okay, now that these are all matted, I am going to put them onto my card base just to get that part of it done. First, I'm going to put the large piece on this side here. And again, it's a small border. And then I'm going to put this piece on this side here. But before I put this piece over here, I need to make my my gift card slot. Just want to straighten that up a tiny bit. So before I put this piece on the inside here, I have to make my gift card slot. And for that, I'm going to use a 1-inch circle punch. I think this is retired as well, but if you have a circle framelit, that'll work fine. So I'm going to bring this in and center it top to bottom, and then you can come in as far as you want, half of the circle deep or just a little less. I'm going to do just a tiny bit less than half of the circle. Okay, so now I have that. Now I'm going to attach this layered piece on the side here. Now, you might be asking, why did I do that? Well, let me show you. I'm going to now turn this around and bring my punch back in and punch this out. And the reason I did that after I punched this out was because this is thick Whisper White, and then this is a thick DSP, and this is an 80-pound cardstock. That would have been a little too much for my hole punch, my circle punch to be able to cut through. So now what I'm going to do is just bring in some tear tape. Stampin' Up! Stopped selling there. No, they didn't. So I'm going to take a little piece of tear tape here. This is brand new, so and take some tear tape, and I'm going to put a tiny bit on either end, and that still leaves the opening large enough to accommodate a gift card. So with my Picket tool, I'm going to release that backing, and I'm going to release this backing, and I'm going to fold this over, and there we have our card base, and our inside is all done. So now I'm going to put that aside. Now we're going to assemble this milkshake. So what I did there, I used the retired stamp set Coffee Cafe. And from this stamp set, I'm going to use this whipped cream and this straw for stamps. It had a coordinating coffee cups framelit set. And from there, I'm going to use the whipped cream framelit, the straw framelit, and then I'm going to use this, which is the that sleeve that goes around a hot cup. I'm going to show you what I used that for, okay? Now, I know I don't usually do my die cutting on live, on camera. I go off to do it, but today I'm going to do it so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So let me bring my Big Shot in. And I have the magnetic plate, and a acrylic plate. I'll just move this up so you can see better. I forgot, I'm also going to use the cup. Now I'm going to bring in my piece of Melon Mambo scrap paper, and I'm going to cut that out. Now, to give my milkshake a frosty look, I'm going to use vellum. So I have a scrap of vellum, and again, I'm going to cut that same cup out. Okay. And here are my two pieces. So now I have to attach these, and it is vellum, and you know that you can see most types of adhesives when you attach vellum. So, but this time I don't really mind because I want it to look frosty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my silicone pad, and with my liquid glue, I'm going to make a little puddle there. And then I have a dauber. I'm going to just dab it in there, and I'm going to apply some ink on the back of my vellum. And again, usually, I mean, if you use this method and you're light with it, the adhesive won't show up on the other side. But this time, I don't really mind if it does, because like I said, I'm going for the effect of a frosty milkshake glass. Let me just put a little more there. Okay, now that I have it all I'm just going to put it right against this, and there we go. All right. Now, this doesn't look quite like this now, does it? Because a milkshake glass does have a little curvature on the inside. I tried quite a few different things to try to get that notch out there. I freehanded it, which is never a good idea with me. I used a die, an oval die, didn't work. An oval punch didn't work. So this is what I came up with. That piece from the coffee set, you see here, it's kind of curved on the bottom. What I did was, I hope you can see this. Let me make sure you can see this. Yeah. I lined this up so that this corner and this corner were right on my paper. Okay? And it is the smallest little sliver that I am removing. Okay, see that? The paper is right in that corner on both sides. Now I'm going to bring in my top piece and run that through. And you can see I've got a bit of a shape, a bit of a curve. So now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to line this up so it's even with this side. And again, the corner pieces, the corners of the die are right on the edge of that paper. And then I'm going to do the same thing. And there we have my malt glass. My milkshake glass has a bit of a figure to it. Okay, it's not a perfect one, but you know, if I don't have exactly what I need, I have to try to make it. This here sticks out just a tad bit too much. I'm going to try to round that corner a little bit. Okay, so now I need to make those lines that are the indents on a milkshake glass. And for that, I'm using the classic label punch. This is not retired. This is still available. And I'm going to punch out 2 strips of vellum from that. Okay. Now I have to attach the vellum to my milkshake glass, and I'm going to do it the same way that I did for the glass. I have these 2 strips. I'm going to turn them over, and with my dauber, I'm just going to add some adhesive. And then I'm going to add it to my glass. Right there. Oops. I'm going to do the same with the other one. This silicone pad is a great investment, and I think it's like $6. Best $6 you'll ever spend. Nothing sticks to it. So let me just attach this here and show you. So there I have like those little grooves that are in the Milkshake glass. Now this is fresh glue because obviously I just used it, but this is what I used this morning. Now I can just rub my finger along my pad and all the dried adhesive comes right up, and it's the best way to avoid getting adhesive on your workstation, which I do all the time. So there's the basics of my glass. Now I have to make the other components to it, and for that I have some scrap Whisper White. Let's see what's in my little bag. All right, that will do, and that little one there. So now I'm going to, with my Melon Mambo ink, and I'm going to bring in my Pierce mat because this is a photopolymer stamp set. I'm going to stamp that straw. Okay. Now coming in with my smoky slate on my other piece of scrap, I'm going to stamp the whipped cream. Okay, I probably could have fit both of them on that, but all right, that's all my stamping. Now I'm going to die cut these, and for that I'm going to use, let me just move my pieces out of the way. I'm going to bring my die machine back up. And I have my whipped cream there, and I'm going to position the coordinating die over that. And then I have my straw. I don't need to cut out the straw die. The straw die obviously is longer than my straw, so I don't need to cut the whole thing out. I'm just going to cut that little bit out. Okay, put my top plate on. Just get that a little straighter. Come on now, Anna. All right, and I'm going to run that through. Okay, now time to put this together. Here's my whipped cream, and I want to attach it behind my milkshake glass. So if you do it this way, it just doesn't look realistic. So what I'm going to do with my liquid glue is I'm going to run a bead along the edge of that. Oh, I put it on the wrong side. So what I'm going to do with my liquid glue is I'm going to run a bead right along the edge here. And I'm going to attach my milkshake glass to that. Okay? I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to run a bead of liquid glue on the back. And then I'm going to attach my straw. Just like that. Okay? Now I want to put this onto my front. But before I do that, I want to tie a bow. You know me, I have to girdle it up a little with my ribbon. And I have a piece, this is the last piece of this cotton ribbon I had in Melon Mambo. It retired many, many years ago. I use this all the time. I hate to have to use the last piece. But anyway, I'm hoping I have enough. I'm going to make a bow right here. And the reason I chose to go with strawberry milkshake, I don't know, in my head, I just didn't think that this project in a brown would look good. I don't know. I just thought it might look kind of muddy. I'm sure it would. I'm sure people have done it and it looks good, but I thought I would go strawberry. Okay, so that's all set. So now I need some dimensionals. I'm going to turn it over and add some dimensionals. I'm going to put one on the top and one in each of the corners. That will hold it, but I would like, actually I'm going to put one in the bottom. I would like to have something to make my straw a little sturdy. So I'm going to come in, I have these foam strips. These are great, I love these. They're great for shaker cards and for letters. I just love these. So I have this piece here, and I'm going to attach that right here on the top. Okay, and then I'm going to remove these backings of my milkshake. And now I'm going to attach that right here. And it raises it up a little bit. So with my ribbon shears, I'm just going to trim the tails on my bow. And I wanted to add a little something else to it. So what I had also retired So what I used, also retired, are these iced rhinestones. These are clear, obviously, but what I'm going to do, I don't have a Melon Mambo Stampin' blend yet, but I do have this dark Flirty Flamingo. And I'm going to just color these. I'll make them any color I want. Now, these are, like I said, they're retired, and you may not have these, but if you have the regular jewels, Stampin' jewels, they would work the same. I just wanted something a little bigger. And they do color so nicely. See that? So you can make them any color you want. And it's alcohol marker, so it does dry pretty quickly. So now I'm going to take my my Picket tool, whatever they, okay, and oops. I'm going to put a gem there, a gem here, and one more right about there. And my card is done. Isn't that the sweetest little thing? And you open it up, and there's where you can put your gift certificate. This is great. Like I said, my daughter needed to send it to someone. She was going to give the woman a gift certificate for milkshakes because that is what, she's an elderly woman, that's what the woman is enjoying these days. So they'd be perfect if you were giving a gift certificate to an ice cream shop, your local ice cream shop, or something like that. It'd be a really cute way to present that card. And again, the inside is blank so that they can write whatever sentiment they want or message they want. If you have any questions at all about this project or any of the products I used, even though they are retired, certainly drop me a line at my blog, www.stampwithanna.blogspot.com. And I hope you enjoy this project, and I hope to see you back here soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.